Oh, it's a podcast. I'm Zach.
I'm Kyle, projecting my voice.
Yeah, I was trying to teach Kyle how to project his voice because he does not, like when we try to see if we're being loud enough speak-wise, I feel like he doesn't shoot his voice at the microphone, which is about a foot and a half away from his mouth.
I literally couldn't be closer.
Yeah, like I probably sit, like I lean back in my chair and I probably sit like 3 feet from the mic. No, not even. I'm honestly probably like a foot and a half from the mic.
I'm
from mic to mouth. And Kyle basically makes it with the mic the entire time. And I show up fine and he's all quiet.
And it's like, where is your voice?
Yeah, like he leans in and he's like, oh, I'm right here.
I see, and that's super
loud. That's me leaning into the mic, and this is just me speaking normally.
That's true. Can't deny that.
Anyways, we're unmotivated and average.
Yeah.
And Yep, no, it's us. We're going to try to make podcasts that are like, I don't know, what do we agree, like 20 to 30 minutes long?
22 and a half, yeah.
Yep, no, exactly on the dot every single time.
Yeah.
If you notice a discrepancy, it's your own problem counting time.
So what's up?
What's going on? I wanted to talk about a couple of video games that I've been playing recently, and then even though I only plan to start releasing this stuff in January of next year, 2015, guys. So.
Were we going to date ourselves with our stories?
No.
Damn it. It's like, okay, Age of Ultron dropped last night. Sorry, trailer.
So right now it's January 1st. So, oh man, how about that, new Game of Thrones book? Yeah. Man, that was a good read. Can't believe it came out in December. I flew through it.
Can't believe they really, threw everyone off.
I know. And then just a whole new cast.
That would be an interesting podcast.
Predict
the future.
Just like say what is going to be happening.
Yeah.
I also want to talk about a game that I got for Kyle for his birthday called Arkham Horror.
It's true. Board game.
We did one test play with Kyle and then one actual playthrough of the game with Kyle, and me and my friend played through it twice in one night. So it's pretty good.
Fun little gem.
Yeah, and then also I have a story about looking for a house that I will also tell. And Kyle, I understand, has made some sort of a game for me.
That's true. I also can't believe I just said gem. I apologize for that.
Should never apologize for being terrible at everything.
It's true. All right, and then later in the show, I'm going to have Zach play round 2 of my awesome game series.
So it's going to be late. You decide what happens first. Me talking about games. I'm sure you can talk about sports or something.
Yeah. No, you start, but then later.
I know. No, you pick. I have a list of exactly 3 things on a Post-it note.
It's like Leslie Knope's thing where it's like dolphins, whatever. I say you start out with your video game.
Okay.
I say you do it in exactly that order.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
And then we'll go into the game, which is going to be Zach guessing Marvel characters based on descriptions and options.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Totally should have waited. Now
that's a tease. They don't know they don't know anything.
Now when we never get around to it, everyone's gonna hate you.
Yeah, where's that game? What?
So no. Not to date us too bad, but I've been playing Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor somewhat recently. Pretty fun game, not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. Like when I first bought it, I was like, I think this is gonna be fun. I pre-ordered it like 3 days before it came out. I just impulse pre-ordered it. I was just sitting there and I was like, man, I don't want to play. Literally, it was before we bought all the recording equipment, and I was like, I don't want to drop a bunch of money because I'm about to buy all this recording equipment. And then I was like, oh, hey, look, a $50 game. I'll buy that right now for no reason.
And that's from the creators of Arkham City, right?
I don't know if they actually I'm terrible at knowing who actually makes games, like the actual people behind it. But the studio, Warner Brothers, made the game.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah. It's fun if you liked Batman. It uses that combat system of X is fight, Y is block.
If you're using an Xbox.
Yeah. Actually, otherwise, it would be.
Was it
no X would X is in a different location. It would be square.
Yeah.
And triangle.
Yeah, although
if you were the computer, it'd be left and right click.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm wrong about the PS4 loadout, just go to your nearest apothecary and tell him to send me a message.
Yeah.
He'll know. Don't specifically mention me by name.
And that's the It looks fantastic in terms of graphics and stuff. Although you told me that most games look good now. But anyway, when I was looking at it, I was like, holy.
Yeah, you thought you were like, this is the prettiest game I've ever seen.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't play.
It's good looking. Like, it's kind of like. it's just a good looking game, but like it's not like something that you would like come over or something.
Yeah, true. Oh,
it's
you literally mean, oh wow. I thought you meant like come over and play.
No, it's like Halo 4 when that came out, not the actual gameplay but the cutscenes. I was just like, I actually thought they had live actors and I thought it was weird. And then my dad walked down and he was like, "Are those live actors?" And I was like, honestly, at this point in time, I'm not sure.
I can't even say they're CGI. Not. Yeah.
You've never seen that?
Is that the commercials they had for the Halo?
No, literally the in-game cutscenes.
For Halo Reach?
Using my fancy computer, I'll bring up... No, not Halo Reach, Halo 4.
Oh, Halo 4, yeah.
Halo 4. Have you seen those?
No, I haven't, yeah.
I'll show you them. You can get the live reaction.
Yeah. But yeah, no, in terms of... like, I remember the commercials for Halo... I think it was Reach at the time, and they were like with live actors, but I was kind of like, is that CGI? Like, it was like kind of like... Which makes sense why it looked so good, because they were real. But
oh,
they
no,
had
it's gonna make sound. Shh, don't make sound.
Shh, don't make a sound.
Oh god, we almost advertised for somebody who's not us.
Let's just call it Balo Nor.
We have to get like the actual person's face.
Well, that game looks amazing already. Yeah.
Nah, see, it's not as here it is. I was gonna say there's like a specific one that yeah. This is that's the cutscene. If anybody wants to look at it at the same time, it's Halo 4, the prologue cutscene with Halsey in lab. I was actually like,
so that's CGI?
Yeah, that's CGI.
Wow. That's
crazy.
I
know, I was like, real person, right? And I actually like flipped so much. Like I'm pretty sure it's all CGI.
Yeah.
But I keep going back and forth. Even right now looking at it, I'm like, no, that's a real person, right? I go back and forth all the time watching that. But yeah, we don't need that shit anymore.
I guess it's because they probably have technology where they're using actual people.
Yeah, it's the mocap face stuff.
Yeah.
But getting back onto Shadow of Mordor, yeah, it feels a little bit like Assassin's Creed 2 as well. Not specifically Assassin's Creed 2, just Assassin's Creed as well. I was very redundant there.
Yes.
Which reminds me of something that will get me just a little off track. I used to know a guy who had a shirt that said Department of Redundancy Department. And I always thought that was a funny shirt.
That's good.
Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah, if you're smart, you're like, I get it because redundancy. And I was in grade 7, and I swear I probably learned that word like a week beforehand, and I was like, oh my god.
And then you just use it every day.
Yeah, I'm always like, that is so redundant. Am I right, teacher? Having to, redundant stuff.
Redundancy. Sorry, you
like
can't
when you learn a new word and then you just kind of want to use it, so you like look for any scenario. You're just like, oh man, that is macabre right there.
Yeah, I think I did that with irony.
This dining establishment is so macabre.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, this is ironic, and they're like, no, it's not. I'm like, it can be. No, not at all.
I dated a girl once who, yeah, I know. And her eye, like, it's a weird thing to say, but like she didn't cry a lot. Like, she got sad and cried, but like literally her eyes cried like from laughter and other things.
Oh yeah.
So like she was literally just teary-eyed often.
It's like a weak tear duct, I believe.
Yeah. So like whenever you made her laugh, she would do that. And one time she was just like, someone said something funny, and it was just me and my sister and her in the room, and then she like was laughing at it, and then she wiped her eyes and she was like, oh, irony. Me and Sarah found out to be the funniest thing ever.
That's amazing.
Because we're like, ha, irony, but irony.
Did she do it on purpose?
No, she didn't. She did not realize what she had done.
That's almost funnier.
I know. It honestly, it made it funnier.
Good for her.
Yeah, Shadow of Mordor is a fun game. I ran through it. I did not do a lot of the side quests. It's a little repetitive.
Was it like kind of like Arkham City in the way that you could kind of do the campaign quickly?
It's exactly like
and then come back and do like side missions, or you could choose to do them during the game.
Yeah.
And is there a new game plus option? Obviously, it might not be called that, but
I honestly didn't look, but I'm gonna say yes. I know you can turn off like, because what I thought was kind of like a little not annoying, but like it showed like, oh, press the Y button when like an enemy attacks you, and somebody told me you can turn that off. I wouldn't want it off. I kind of like the Arkham where it's just like it shows a little like, I don't know, like an angry lightning bolt above their head or whatever. So you're kind of like, aha, stop this guy.
Yeah, I liked that. That's how you knew when to counter.
Yeah, and it was fun playing like New Game Plus in Arkham City, where like I had that turned off, and then just kind of like seeing like them wind up the punch, and I was like, oh, he's gonna punch me. Boom, Y button. But no, I liked it. It's cool. Back to Shadow of Mordor. Scatterbrain Zach has to try to talk about one game, but you can't do it. I like the whole like you're with like if you're into like Lord of the Rings lore, you can go look up and like be like, oh, this is all this stuff. For me, not a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I like it enough. I thought the movies were pretty good, but it's cool. It's definitely interesting. Like you have like a wraith person that you're inside of, or that's inside of you. So I think it's cool. Like honestly, one of my things I like the most about the counter is that with Batman you do like 2 counters and you like punch a guy and like maybe throw him into another guy to stop that guy from hitting you. But with this, you block one guy's sword and then you're like Shadow Dude, whose name is hard to pronounce, and I haven't played the game in a week now, so I forget it. It was like something, I don't know. He's the dude who like. Actually, that's kind of a spoiler, but spoiler alert, he makes the Rings of Power. I knew that before going into the game, and I think it made it better, but it's like a huge thing. Like, who is this asshole?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so if you don't like spoilers, when I yell spoiler alert, you have like...
When you yell spoiler alert, it means listen really closely.
Yeah. You know, just throw it off. In the future, I will be better at that, because I also really hate spoilers. So I'll be like, spoilers, I'll wait a couple beats, and then boom.
Spoiler alert, everything happened.
Yeah. One time sent somebody, because we were watching Deadliest Warrior. I'm so good at staying on track. we were watching Deadliest Warrior, and he had to leave before the final battle, because, you know, why would you ever do that? Because all Deadliest Warrior is good for. And it was just me. We were working on a history project, actually. It was me, this girl, and my best friend at the time. Jim, I'll call him. Give everyone a fancy fake name. Jim the guy. Jim
Bob.
But anyways, he had to leave before the final battle. I remember just sent him like I was like, yo, this team won. It was the CIA versus Russia. Yo, spoiler alert, CIA won. But I just sent him, CIA wins. And then like a minute later, I was like, spoiler alert. Sneaking in afterwards.
Whoops. All right, so why don't we go from Shadow of
No,
Mordor?
wait, no, Kyle, no. Also, today, I was playing Far Cry 2. I wanna like that game. I do, because it seems like a lot of fun.
Is that new?
No, it's super old. It's from like 2000 and something.
Gotcha.
8, 6. Like, there's a 3 out already, and Far Cry 4 comes out. It's
right.
already, actually.
Yeah.
When this, like, right now, I'm playing it. I beat it. It was fun. Favorite game ever. Game of the year, no props. That's why they were releasing it super late in this year, because they were like, you know what? Same thing.
It's like before Christmas, or?
I think it's in November. I think they're going to try to grab it, because it'll be in everybody's mind. Where, like, when they released Far Cry 3, it was way too close to the end of the year, so like I guess it didn't really get noticed as much.
Right.
So I feel like this is going to be in that sweet spot to grab those nice Spike TV. By the way, as anybody who is a gamer, out of the whole 2 people, hopefully at least one of you, so 50% of the audience, the other 50% is sports, I would imagine. I kind of like that there's going to be like probably just 2 people, because like each of us is talking to them individually.
Yeah, just a conversation. Yeah.
Pretty much. Just invite them over. They'll just be part of the show, and we'll lose our entire audience. It'll be fun. But anyways, as a gaming culture, you one person out there listening to this, we really need someone who's not Spike TV to give out our awards.
Yeah, the VGAs, right?
Yeah. Like, I know there's like a bunch of awards that go out, but I feel like we need a unified award, pretty much like the Oscars. Like, I don't agree with everything, obviously, that Oscars are like Golden Globes and all them, but I feel like if video games had a more unified award system like that, I think it kind of do something to legitimize them a little bit more. And I really feel like video games need to be legitimized.
So like an academy for video games.
Yes, and like you would have representatives who used to like make games from like big studios and stuff like that, and indie game, like all the good stuff, the kind of the big people in the games industry, and they would vote on which games, and tons of awards. Like obviously you could have like, you know, graphics, gameplay, story.
Yeah, definitely not a crazy stretch. I'm sure people would watch
like
them.
Obviously they already have a bunch of them. Like I think IMG does their own awards. Spike obviously has their big award show that they kind of do.
Yeah,
like a whole bunch of sites do their like games of the year and stuff like that. But I feel like if we could just unify a little bit more under like one banner, and I think it'd be even better if it was like just a website that did it, more than like, because obviously we don't need a TV show to do it, because most of us spend our time watching TV online anyways. I'm getting so nervous that I'm not talking loud enough, because the lines are not going very high.
They're shrinking. No,
Jesus,
I think you're
I've
good.
been talking for 14 minutes. I gotta speed up the pace.
I tried to segue.
Oh God, no, Kyle! It's gonna be too long of a podcast. They're not gonna listen to it. Oh my God! So okay.
So let's go.
Video games, they're important. That's the moral of the story.
Shadow of Mordor with the producers.
Yeah.
Arkham City. Arkham City. Let's
There
go
you
to the
go.
board game.
Oh yeah.
Arkham Horror.
You're nailing this.
There it is. All right. So
Okay.
Arkham Horror.
So you
board
talk a
game.
little bit about your first experience, since the game is technically yours, even though it's mine.
Nope,
for
very,
sure,
very
100%.
true. Yeah, it's a board game, not based on Batman at all. I know that can be confusing, but I'm assuming Arkham, what was it, Arkham, Massachusetts? Or something
Yeah,
like that?
invented by, if anybody out there knows, H.P. Lovecraft,
Yeah, so
who invented horror
it's based on
monsters from other worlds.
yeah, like old school monsters, kind of. Yeah, it's very
most
interesting.
notably Cthulhu, if you know who that is.
Yeah, or if we're pronouncing that right.
I'm pretty sure it's Cthulhu. The first time I ever heard it they pronounced it as Cthulhu.
Yeah, but essentially you work together as a team. Whoever's playing 2 to 4, was it 2 to 4, 2 to 5?
No, 1 to 8.
1 to 8. That was it. Yeah, yeah, and you work together as a team to defeat the main monster on the board. So it's different, and like you're not really competing against anyone you're playing with. You're
Yeah,
competing
it's
against,
co-op,
yeah.
which is cool for a board
Yeah.
game. I've never played a co-op board
No,
game.
neither had
before.
I. Neither had I. Yeah.
I thought it works out pretty well.
But yeah, it was fun once you get the hang of it, which isn't really that hard.
No, it's not difficult.
Yeah, once you really just figure out. Although we found it
Yeah.
almost
The,
too.
the very first time we played with 5 people. No, we played with 6. Yeah. No, 5. I was right before. 5 people. And me and my friend Rob, I'll use generic names for all my friends because they have generic names and that's their real names.
Yeah.
But anyways, me and my friend Rob, like he read through the rules and I read through the rules. And there's a lot of little rules that aren't overly complicated, but there's just a lot of them that you have to know. That's about it.
Yeah. So, but once you get the hang of it, like
Yeah,
in terms
you
of,
just blow through it.
although we almost thought it might have been not too easy, but parts of it's kind of like
Yeah.
it's intense though, especially when you're doing that last battle.
We haven't lost yet, but it never feels like you're in a position where you're just going to mop up. It always feels like
Yeah.
you're just about to lose.
I guess it'd be harder to try to win it the way where you're clearing or closing all the gates. Which
We won it like that.
yeah, and then you can either close all the gates on the board or you can face the final monster.
Yeah, we're kind of okay. So let's explain.
Yeah.
Basically, what the game is, you're in Arkham, Massachusetts, and an ancient one, which is one of like these 8 giant monsters, is going to come through Arkham, Massachusetts, and ruin everybody's day. So you and a number of 1 to 8 investigators, you basically just choose an investigator out of the 16 cards they give you, and this is going to be the quickest overview ever because it's a super complicated game. And then you have to stop them, and gates open up over the city. Monsters come out. You fight them using dice, and then eventually you go through into another world, close the gate, or come out again, close the gate. If you close them all, you win. If enough of them open or some other bad stuff happens, the monster comes through. If you fight them, you win. If you don't, you lose. Or if some other bad stuff happens, you can lose.
See, you don't even need the rule book after hearing that.
Yeah, I know. That's like basically the best rules ever. Definitely didn't try to do it in like a minute and a half flat so that we could talk about other stuff as well. This podcast is going to be half an hour. I guarantee it.
We'll see. We'll aim for 25.
I mean, the last one was 22 minutes. It's 18 minutes in already.
But yeah, definitely if you're into board games, super interesting, fun game. But yeah, we've been trying a few, so
Yeah, we'll probably talk more and more about board games as we start
Yeah.
to play more of them.
because board games, as you learned in school, are on the rise in
Yes,
terms
they are,
of people
especially after Settlers of Catan came back.
playing them.
Yeah, it's kind of the whole nerd culture coming into popularity, and then bam.
Boom.
Settlers of Catan really take off, and then board
That's
games
your
are cool now.
snap.
Yep. Boom. Look at that. I like it. The snap has a cool little thing. Hey, here's a fun way to entertain yourself. If you're stupid, like us, just snap into a microphone and open up Audacity.
Yeah.
Hours of entertainment, easily. Maybe even hundreds of hours.
It's spelling my name.
Just spell your own name.
All right. So did you want to hold on to your house story or?
Already it's like a week old, so I feel like I should tell it. It's honestly it's a minute long story, so
All right,
whatever.
go for
then
it.
we'll play the game 30 minutes. See, the game's
Yeah.
gonna take 10 minutes.
We're golden. No, it's not gonna take 10 minutes. Don't worry.
Okay. So anyway, so me and my friend Rob are gonna go to school in similar locations. Remember from last podcast, or I don't remember if that got put in or not. You gotta, if you can guess where the country that me and Kyle are from, the province or state that me and Kyle are from, and the town that we're from.
Then that's creepy. Actually, no, don't suggest that because then they're gonna like creep our IP.
No, man. Then you win, satisfaction. So if you can figure out all three of those things, just go to your nearest tome store, ask them for a 1-to-1 tome, figure out our mailing address, which will be somewhat difficult, send us the other half of that tome, and then just write it into the tome, and it should just appear on our tome if I understand tomes at all, which I'm pretty sure it's a chance I don't.
So
but do that.
For those at home who don't know what a tome is, like perhaps me, what's a tome?
Tome is basically just a book. It's usually magical, so I imagine there's 1-to-1 tomes where you could write it in, the writing shows up in another tome.
That makes sense.
Anyways, yeah, the house story. So me and my friend Rob are gonna live together in January. Maybe he'll be on some shows, which would be nice because he's an in-stream. He's a person. Let's not get carried away. And then, but anyway, so we go to, obviously, to the house to look at it, because if you're going to buy a house, or at least rent it, you should probably look at it first, right, Kyle? You'd agree. So we go there, and Rob's a pretty organized dude, so when he said, like, only one of the guys had asked him to call ahead, I believed him, because that's probably true.
Oh, like one of the people, yeah, okay.
Yeah, gotcha. Like, call ahead before you get there. So we get there at 10 a.m., because Rob called them, like, I don't know, like, a week ago or whatever. He was like, hey, we're, like, gonna look at your place. Mm-hmm. When should we do it? Can we do it at, like, 11? And he was like, no, it's gotta be 10, because I'm busy. So we're like, okay, fine, cool, 10. So we got there at 10, and then we wait around for a little bit, and then we call the guy. And, well, Rob calls him. Rob's like, yeah, no, we're here. And he's like, I told you to call me beforehand. The guy said, and Rob's like, no, I don't think you did, but we're here right now, so when can you be here? And now it's like, at this point in time, it's like 10:15 or something. And we're kind of like, oh, okay. He's like, I'll be there in, I don't know, like 15 minutes. Like, okay, I guess we'll just wait. We have another house appointment at 11, so we're like, okay, whatever. Like, we might not get a lot of time in this house, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. And then, 10:30 rolls around. I'm kind of like, okay, is this dude going to show up? Because now he's actually going to start being late pretty soon, because now it's 10:30, like, he should be here. Then it's 10:40, and we're like, okay, we got to call him again. So we call him, this time probably around 10:45, and we get through, and after a little while, and we're like, hey, what happened? Like, it's 10:45 now, and you're still not here. He's like, oh, I sent a guy down there. So he didn't even come. He sent another dude, and the house is right beside a gas station. Yeah. So instead of going to the parking lot in the house, which is where we're at, so it's basically house, parking lot, fence, gas station. Mm-hmm. The dude went to the gas station to look for us.
Of course, yeah.
This guy that he sent doesn't have our number, doesn't know what kind of car we're in, doesn't know what we look like. For all I know, he didn't even know our genders, for all I know. Like, he knows nothing about us, and he's just going to find us in a gas parking lot. So he gives up after, I guess, like 10 minutes and just leaves. So then the guy's like, okay, I'll call him, and then I'll call you back. So he calls the guy, and then he calls us back, and he's like, yeah, he's on the highway now. So like, he can't, so he just left and went on the highway, I guess. Was like, yeah, so, I can come down there. And Rob goes, yeah, no, like, we have to go to a meeting at 11. Like, I told you we're busy at 11. So.
Yeah, way to be, he's really selling that house.
Yeah. So then the guy's like, okay, how about 11:30? And we're like, yeah, that'll probably work. So we go to this other house. It was awesome. Those people were nice. They got their crap together. They were like, hey, time. Even though the house is only like, they're redoing it or whatever, but like, it was nice. I don't care. Like, honestly, we're probably gonna end up. That's the one we're gunning for. Yeah. If you're out there, people who are selling that house, if you're the two people listening to this, give that house to us. We're great people. We'll give you money for that space.
I think that's how capitalism works.
And then they showed us the house. Super nice people. I like them a lot. There was like 3 of them there. And then we leave. And we get back there, and it's only like 11:20 because we're awesome at looking at houses, because we got there at like 10:50 because it was only 5 minutes away, so 20 minutes, whatever. Looked at the house. I gotta speak louder probably during that. They probably just like heard like mumbles during the whole thing.
I think you're good.
Just blast the volume if you can't hear us. God, it's not that hard. Anyways, Or that, or like the people are just like, this guy needs to shut the fuck up. Oh my god, he's so loud. God, stop it. Stop being so loud.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Nothing in between though.
Yeah, nothing in between. Just either way too loud or way too quiet. So anyways, we get there at 11:30 now, and using our noggins, we're like, let's go to the gas station, because that's the most logical place to look for us, obviously. So we go to the gas station, and we park in the gas station, and Rob's like, okay, so he says he's going to be the dude in the Mercedes. And this is where we got into an argument about what the Mercedes logo is, because we're huge car fans, and we obviously both knew what it was. And I was like, I was right. It's the circle with, like, the peace sign, but not actually the peace sign in it. Yeah, I was like, that's it. And then he thought it was the Mazda M. He thought it was the M, and then later when we were on the highway, he's like, oh, the M is Mazda. And I was like, I knew I was right. I knew it was the peace sign.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, so we wait there. And then it's like, okay, now it's 11:40. We got a thing to do at 12 now. We got to look at an apartment. And we're like, okay. So we wait around. We call the guy, and I don't think we can get a hold of him. And then we call him back, and it's like 11:45, 11:50-ish. Can't get a hold of him again. And then we like, we got to leave. Like, oh, well, like, whatever. Let's get out of here. And then he calls us at 11:50, like 2 or something like that. And he's like, hey, oh, man, like, what's going on? I just got here. Are you guys still here? And you know when someone says, are you still here? Like, that's like their opener. You know that person's consistently late to everything. So we're like, oh my god, okay, no. I mean, we are still here, but we're leaving right now to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, oh, so you can't wait around? Like, do you want to do this another time? We're like, no, we have to go somewhere else. We have to go. We have to be somewhere at 12.
He screwed you over twice, I think.
Twice. He was late twice, and he was trying to sell us something.
What a fool.
I was like, why? How are you this late?
It's in his interest to get your money. Like, oh my god. People, though. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So that's my sweet house story. It's going to be so hard to keep these to half an hour. Like, the first one, we couldn't even make it 30 minutes.
Well, it depends on what... Yeah, like, we actually had topics, so... Okay, so do you want to try this, then?
Yeah, let's rock it. Maybe we should do games at, like, different times. I mean, we're going to do this game, because I told you exactly what was going to happen. I was going to get talking. You were going to say absolutely nothing. Why do I even need you here? You've said, like, 7 words this entire podcast.
I'm just the guy in the back. I'm like, mm-hmm.
You're just like, I need you as a face to speak at.
That's all you are, a face.
I'm just going to get a picture of you when I'm doing, like, when I'm playing through games and put it there and pretend like I'm talking to you.
Well, I suppose in theory we could record this separately, but...
I don't know. Do you want to do that? Like, let's leave all this in, obviously.
Well, even if we recorded it separately and chose to put it in, we could just edit it in.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll stop the recording there. Then we'll start a new one, just in case we feel like we have no idea though. The audience could be like, make it an hour long. I love you guys so much. Have my babies. If that's you out there, and this one's an hour long, and you watch it, and you want to have our babies. That's a little weird, but
you could
I'm glad that you like us that much.
You could always make it longer later.
Okay, so either goodbye forever, and we've been Unmotivated and Average. I'm Zachary. I'm the one who talks all the time.
This guy's Kyle.
I know that's the first time you've heard his voice. I'm sorry that I'm an asshole.
Oh my god, there's a second person there?
Someone watching at home. Oh my god, what? There's 2 of these guys? Jesus Christ.
Expect more clever games from me. And by clever, I mean not clever.
Yeah, let's quickly talk about the future so that it's like an even 30 minutes. I'm going to do video games. The first one I'm going to do is Mountain Blade, and then maybe Crusader Kings 2.
Yeah, I'll think of more games.
Yeah, he's going to be the games guy for this.
And see, it's tough to talk about sports, though, because sports... Like, it's dated right away.
Yeah, true.
It's like, oh, see that Leafs game yesterday?
They won the Stanley Cup, I hear. Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that they won the Stanley Cup.
It was bananas.
Oh my god. And then the Giants are going to win the...
Royals won last night.
Oh, I'm really into sports.
Yeah. Well, that series isn't over, but it's
I thought you meant like literally they won.
2-1 Kansas City.
Kyle asked me, because I know nothing about sports, who was going to win when the playoffs of baseball started.
Sports.
And I said it was going to be the Giants.
Yeah.
And they've made it to the finals, so now I'm just going to like, I got this.
Yeah, they're I mean, they definitely have a chance. Kansas City's strong.
Yeah. Oh my god, I couldn't believe that last year in they won, and now they're going to win again this year.
Yeah.
So we don't date the podcast, Kyle. Just play along.
I can't believe
this third year running.
Yeah. Just like in The Simpsons with
the Denver Broncos. Or in the Quartercast that we watched today. Oh my god, I can't believe New Year's is 6 months away.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. So look forward to me playing video games and speaking. Oh god, it's over 30 minutes.
Right, that's it. It's done.
Kyle, do the ender quickly. Do that famous ending thing that you do in every one of them.
Can't remember what I said last time. That's it.
Alright. We are unmotivated and average. Please let us have your babies.